Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Oh my gosh, like make sure you smash the subscribe button, like it, share it, press the little bell in the corner so you get the notifications when we go live. We're going to be doing an Instagram and a YouTube takeover next week. Tag your friends in the comments to win a free Xbox.
Okay, we're done. But yeah, welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back. There's no...
I'm literally gonna put this all in here. But if you are new, my name's Izzy. This is my husband, Zach. He has no... baby.
I'm sorry.
And this is my other baby. So today, I thought that it was time to share our birth story.
I mean, you're the one that gave birth.
Okay, whatever. You're a part of it, okay? I mean, I did push her out, so. Anyway, do not say any details yet. I had a feeling you were going to.
Just tell the story.
A little background. So our due date was June 1st. We didn't know the gender. And because of that, Zach and I, we made little bets. So I bet that, well, I thought we were having a boy, like the whole time, thought we were having a boy. And most like first time moms are typically late, so I assumed I was going to be late. He thought we were having a girl and that I would be early. June 1st was like a draw. Draw, is that the right term?
Yeah, a wash.
A wash. So basically it didn't count, like whatever. Anyway, okay, so on May 31st I was having contractions. I think they weren't really consistent, and like basically Zach was like, oh, today's the day, blah blah, and I was like, part of me trying to just be like, no, there's no way, I need to win this bet. But also like, I don't know, it was our first, like she was my first baby, you know, like I had no idea what it was going to feel like, and everything like that. So just kind of went about the day, did all the things, you know, like walking on the curb, squats, the T to try to help induce, but whatever. And then on June 1st, so our due date, I wake up in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. and I don't know if you heard that. No spit up though. So I woke up at 2 a.m. to contractions. They were pretty consistent. I can't remember exactly. I think they were 5 to 10 minutes apart.
On the first?
At 2 a.m. before I woke up again at 6.
Yeah, they were a few minutes apart.
Yeah, so like 5 minutes apart, I'm pretty sure, maybe a little bit more. And
so naturally I went back to bed.
So I called, I called my midwife, and she was like, you know, oh, she spit up. Do you guys want to see? Lovely. Okay, anyway.
If this hits 10,000 subscribers, Izzy will eat it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So wake up at 2 a.m. This is like all over the place. Oh my gosh. So call my midwife. I'm having the contractions and everything, whatever. She's like, okay, it's, you know, middle of the night. I want you to go into the shower or in the bath and just like see if they go away. And if they go away, try to get some sleep to like rest. So that's what I did. And they went away, whatever. I go back to bed and wake up at 6 a.m. to a really intense one, and I start timing them. I don't think I woke you up right away for that one. And I start timing them, and they're like 3 minutes apart, a minute each. I call my doula, and everything. I wake him up, and it's like our doula's like, yeah, it's go time. So we're thinking we're going to have this baby like very soon. And so we get to the hospital probably around like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all the COVID restrictions, he wasn't allowed up until I was admitted. So I like had to go up, whatever. They check me. I'm actually only at a 3 and dilated. And I think I was like 100% effaced. Like basically everything was good except for my dilation, which was at a 3. And since that's early labor, even though I was contracting, they had to like monitor me and see if I was progressing or whatever, and he still was not able to come up with me. This was like, how long? 2 hours?
Oh, it was like 2 to 3 hours.
Like,
I was just sitting in this lobby with like a car seat and all these bags of like Izzy stuff and like a bunch of like Uncrustables and graham crackers and like gummies and stuff, like just alone sitting there.
Yeah. And the other thing with that is, so I wanted to do, well, we'll get there, but I wanted to do it like a natural birth and everything like that. So that's what I was like preparing for, and we had done the classes, which is also part of like why they weren't like also admitting us, I think, because whatever. Anyway, I might cut that out. What?
Just tell me your stuff.
Okay. So then finally we get admitted, and she checks me because she needed to make sure I was progressing, and she's like, yeah, you're like a 3.5. Honestly, I think she just said that so I could get admitted, honestly.
Yeah, she felt bad for me sitting in the lobby.
Yeah. And so we get admitted, and my contractions are like consistent this whole entire time. Like literally like 3 to 4 minutes on the dot, like I am contracting and in a lot of pain. It was at that point bearable. I was able to do it and just breathe through them. It was a Monday. My midwife, she had clinic like her whole day, and since it was very early labor, her clinic's like maybe a 15-minute drive or something like that. So she went back to work, saw her patients, and came back at lunch and then at the end of the day. So like this whole time from now, it's like probably 8:30 or something, 9, I don't know, until noon. I'm contracting, everything, whatever. Can't eat anything. It was terrible. She comes in, checks me, and that time I'm only at a 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was only at a 4. And it was like, what the heck is going on? Like, not like, yeah, anyway. So then, same thing. She leaves. My water had not broke at all yet. So my water hadn't broke at all yet, and at the end of the day when she was coming back, she was going to break my water if it hadn't broke yet. And she comes back at like 5, and at this point I'm just like really exhausted, really tired, still being able to push through, whatever. And I thought that like once the water broke, I knew that it was going to get a little bit more intense, but like I guess it just, I thought it would speed things up. And she breaks it. Zach saw it all. And then we find out the baby has meconium, which is when they whatever poop in the womb, right? They poop in the womb, right? That's what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting nervous that I forgot what it was. So we found out the baby had meconium, aka Zoe, and at that point, basically, once the baby has meconium, we needed, like, the baby needed to kind of come out sooner than later.
Yeah, it also threw a wrench in, like, a lot of what we had planned for the birth plan, because, like, I was going to catch the baby, and then we were going to do, like, delayed cord clamping, where, like, I didn't cut the cord right away, and all these different things, but, like, when a baby has meconium, they have to get taken to, like, they have to get, like, brought straight to the little table to get worked on to make sure there's nothing in their lungs or anything. So that like was the first like huge curveball in what we were doing.
Yes. Yeah, it was very annoying and frustrating, I guess, because everything that we had planned was just not going as planned. And so after she broke my water, she checks me. Did I already say this? I was at a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I said that part.
Okay,
whatever. So anyway, so at the end of the day at like 5, so from noon to 5, I only went 1 centimeter. And it was just like my body was not progressing fast enough on its own, and just at all. And so I was like, okay, well, the water's broke. It has to speed up. And
you had only progressed 1 inch in the last like 5 hours.
1 centimeter.
1 inch. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, so we were almost at the hospital for like, we were at the hospital for like 10 hours at that point, and you were like,
yes,
only at a 5.
Yes. And so after the water broke, I kind of was we were thinking, okay, like I'm gonna progress, whatever. Things definitely got way more intense. Like the contractions, like my lower back was in a lot of pain, and at this point, our midwife had also said the baby is probably sunny side up. Which, if you don't know, like, one, doing, natural without an epidural is already really just painful. But like when the baby's sunny side up, it's just hard, apparently. Well, I mean, I guess I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, you did it.
Okay, so I had told Zach that I didn't want to get the epidural, but I said I don't want to get the epidural, but convince me, like, if I say I want it, to not get it, but like I'm gonna get it if I need it.
Right.
So
Naturally, a very clear position.
So basically,
Very clear expectations for her husband.
So, you know, he's trying to convince me, you know, of course, whatever. And the whole day, I still was not even really bringing up the epidural. What?
You're just breezing through this epidural part, but you were
Well,
like...
well, okay, yeah, go.
She was like, I think I need the epidural.
I was
And
gonna
then
end.
I was like, well, no, babe, like, you can do it. Following instructions, Izzy told me to convince her not to get it. And then she's like, just completely like, no, I think I need it. And there's like nurses in the room and our midwives in the room, and all of them are looking at me like, your wife is saying she needs this, like, and you keep saying no. And I'm like,
She told me.
just looking like a total bad guy over here. And she's just like, well, I think I need it. I think I need it.
And at this point, I felt really, like I don't know, I felt embarrassed that I wanted to get it, because I had kind of talked like that I didn't want it. And who knows? I mean, if you know, Zoe didn't have meconium, and if, you know, she was facing the correct way, maybe it could have gone a whole different way. But there was just a lot at stake, and in the end, which we'll get to, I mean, I did end up getting the epidural, and it did save me from getting a C-section, they said, which is really good that I listened to my body. But at that point, like, as Zach was just sharing, so our midwife, she was like, okay, well, you know, if you want to get the epidural, but like getting checked is going to change your mind, then like, let's check you. But if not, then like, I'm not going to check you. And at this point I was like, nope, I want it no matter what. I don't care. And that's when she checks me, or well, we get the epidural, she checks me after, and I was only at a 6. Yes.
This is after like 12 hours at the hospital.
Yes, and then like prior at home, of course. So it's been a long, like, I hadn't slept because I wasn't able to sleep, like, without, like, I was in so much pain. I couldn't even be on my back. Like, I was either in the shower, like, leaned over the bed, like, on all fours. Like, I mean, I couldn't even do anything.
No.
Yeah. So I got the epidural, and literally, like, not even painful, like, to get it at all. Like, I was, like, freaking out, though, because I thought it was taking so long to get, when in reality, I guess it wasn't.
Oh,
Like,
she whispers
like-
in my ear, where the heck, this is taking so long. It's been like 2 hours. It's been like 15 minutes. Like, since she said she wanted it, they called the anesthesiologist. Like, 15 minutes later, he came in. She was like, finally.
like, I was in, like, at that point, my breathe, like, nothing was controlled. Like, I feel like I was really a lot more, like, controlled before I got the epidural. Whatever. So I get it. Honestly, the pain for it was not any, like, I know it's different for everyone, but it was really easy for me to get it, I guess. And they also said, because, like, obviously you don't feel anything, and I was, like, lifting my legs and helping them out, and they were like, wow, like, the epidural, like, worked really well for you. I don't know. So that was a plus. Okay, so after that, it's probably like 9:30, and Zach is like, okay, great, like, you know, the baby's gonna come before midnight. I don't, like, I'm,
And then
like, you know,
I-
it's gonna
we
be
were
washed,
gonna
whatever.
tie on the bed. It was gonna be
Yes.
great.
And our midwife was like, oh no, you guys are gonna sleep probably, like, through that or whatever. So we got to sleep until, like, I don't
Like
know,
1.
1 or 1:30, something like that. And
Yeah, so by the time I woke up, I had already lost the bet. I was
yeah,
so frustrated.
so I'm, and the thing that was a pair of shoes, Tory Burch sandals. So I'm sitting there after they wake me up.
Tory
and
Burch isn't going to sponsor us just because you said that.
I know, okay. So anyway, so it's 1:00 in the morning. I'm at a 10. So I went from a 6 to a 10 in like a couple hours. It was amazing.
You're always at a 10.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Ah, you like that one, huh, sweetheart?
Okay. So anyway, so I'm sitting there on like my phone, and since I had won the bet, they were like, "Oh my gosh, yay!" with my nurse and our midwife, and so it was just a very cute bonding moment of all three of us just looking at the shoes together, and just me getting ready to push. So I start pushing probably like 2 or 2:30, right? It had to be 2:30 because I can't push for more than 3 hours.
Yeah, it was like 2:30.
So start pushing at 2:30. It was a very long 3 hours.
Yeah. It was a long 3 hours of holding Izzy's leg.
Yeah, so he was holding my leg, and then my nurse Nicia, love her. I'm gonna send her the video.
Oh, jeez.
But, we're friends on Instagram. And so but anyway, so also the baby like was like basically our midwife had said the baby was going to be big, and I knew the baby was going to be big. Zach was almost 11 pounds when he was born, so basically, and I always thought I was like 7 pounds, but apparently I was 6'11", according to my mom. I did not know that until recently. But so we knew the baby was going to be big no matter what. And trying to think.
And the baby was big.
The baby was big. Okay. So then we start pushing, and since the baby Zoe was sunny side up, like just I don't know, I wasn't pushing right. Is that like
Yeah, she was like having a hard time pushing and like focusing on the right like way to push or whatever, and so they had to like lower her epidural so that she could like feel more, so that she knew like how to push, and then that was really effective.
Yeah, and then I also threw up at one point from nausea.
That was gross.
It was funny because I was like, I think I have to throw up, and then I went over to Zach. Do you remember that? I went over, like I looked over to him, and they gave me a bag. I didn't puke on him. Do you want me to take her?
No.
Okay. So then we still am trying to push. Zoe was not getting over my pelvic bone. And after the 2-hour mark is when... Hey, baby. I know. Come here. Do you want me? Do you want mama? Hi.
That's annoying. Oh, there we go. It wasn't.
Okay, so anyway... Oh, honey. Oh, no. We're almost done. So, anyway,
Yeah. 2 hours later.
All right, intermission because little miss had to eat here. So, it's been 2 hours.
Oh, how long had it been?
No, so our OB, so our midwife and OB are married. They're like a husband-wife team, practice, whatever. So since something was going wrong and Zoe wasn't coming out, that's who our midwife called.
And that was after the 2-hour mark?
And that was after the 2-hour mark. And so he comes, and at this point, I had like, I guess, what did you always say? Like, I don't know, I just started pushing the correct way.
Yeah.
When I was told that Dr. Herbie was coming.
Yeah, she got scared
so
straight.
I totally got scared.
When Dr. Herbie came in, who is our OB, it was like we were going to have to do the forceps and all this other stuff and all these other interventions, and then we were going to have to consider C-section.
Yes.
And Izzy, I think, was like having a really hard time pushing and like powering through, and then like the threat of all of those things. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with those things, but like
totally.
that Izzy was trying to do natural, and so she was like, oh, like this is like, I gotta do it, and she like found that extra gear and made like significant progress really quick as soon as Dr. Herbie like came in.
Yeah. So he comes, and at this point I had gotten the baby out. Like the head was out. he had seen the head. Our midwife was like, okay, do you want to feel like the head? And I'm like, no, it's fine, like whatever. And then like I still was not really pushing, and then as like I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I felt the head, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's literally right there. And so
And Zoe's head was so big that I literally thought that we had given birth to like a quadriplegic. Like I thought it was like a full human being
because she was so big.
because she was so big. I thought it was like her torso. And then they turned her around so I could see her face, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
And I'm also bleeding a lot. I had no idea really about this. Yeah, I just didn't. There was a lot going down there that I had no idea. So still, the baby is not coming out. At this point, they find out and realize her shoulders were stuck, and it's a thing called shoulder dystocia, and I don't really know much about it besides the shoulders being too big or whatever. And so our midwife Ellie was trying to like get her out, and I was obviously trying to push still. Nothing was happening, and then that's when Dr. Hervey steps in to take to get the baby out.
Yeah. And rips Zoe out like he's starting a manual lawnmower.
Yes, that's what
Dr. Hervey just went in there. She's stuck. Everyone was trying to be gentle and was like trying to get Zoe out, and then Dr. Hervey was just like, and she popped out.
Yeah, and I mean TMI.
And I was standing there holding Izzy's leg, like, oh my lord.
And yeah, and this is like, okay, this is a TMI, but like I did not tear or anything
Oh, this is a
until
TMI.
that point. Well, the rest
As
is
if
like
the whole story.
Okay, fine. You're right. Okay. And so, like Zach said earlier, we weren't able to, do the delayed cord clamping. The baby wasn't going to be on top of me. So since we didn't know the gender at this point, since Zach was going to be the one to like hand me the baby and tell me, we were still going to do that. But obviously it had to be once the baby, Zoe, was, all like cleaned up and stuff. So I'm like getting everything situated down there, baby's out of me, blah, blah, blah. She is over at the table and, getting all the measurements and weight and numbers, whatever. He cut the cord, missed because...
Okay, missed.
Or it was...
It's just
he didn't complete
not like
it.
I cut over a toe or something.
Okay,
I
well,
just didn't cut all the way through.
Yes, which apparently, I mean, if you've had a baby...
Very
like,
common.
Yes,
Men in the comments, share your stories of how you didn't cut the cord all the way through.
Whatever. So then they're over at the table. I don't hear anything. Like, I'm trying not even to look because I want to be surprised and everything. And apparently they're all saying like, oh my gosh, that's such a big girl, like blah blah blah. And he's like,
I was so pissed.
He's like freaking out because we went all this time and it's like, really, you're gonna mess it up. But I did not hear any of that. And so yeah, they swaddled her up and everything. I'll give all the details of her after, like how much she weighed and stuff. And he comes over to me, hands her to me, and says that I'm holding Zoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was so cute. I cried so much. Maybe one day I'll share those photos. But it was such a beautiful moment, and she spit up again. That's lovely. That's lovely, right on my leg. Cannot make this up. And so with all
That's
of
the end of the story.
that is the end of the story.
You're still going.
No, but so this is what so here's Zoe. Zoe, say hi. Zoe Lynn, our little girl, and she was. Do you want to say how much she weighed?
9 pounds 9 ounces.
9 pounds 9 ounces. She was
22 and a half.
22 and a half
Years old when she came out of the
whatever. And I think her head, it was like 13 inches. Like, I think I saw that. Whatever. I'll include all those details. But yeah, 9 pounds 9 ounces.
Read the links in the description for the exact
Very big
numbers.
baby. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you in the next one. You'll see me in the next one. Bye.